There's a secret, a hidden truth known only to the most magnetic women in the world. And it's not about looks, money, or youth. It's something far more subtle, yet incredibly powerful. Just once, you tap into it, and he will choose you, even when 1,000 others vie for his attention. Have you ever wondered why some women seem to possess this mysterious pull? Why men who once seemed indifferent suddenly turn to them like sunflowers to the sun? The answer isn't what you've heard before. It's not about playing hard to get, mind games, or striving for perfection. No, the truth lies deeper, something primal, instinctual. Walter Riso, one of Latin America's most respected psychologists, spent decades uncovering a secret that will completely change the way you connect with men. And today, you're going to learn it. But first, I need to share something that might feel unsettling. Right now, most women are doing the exact opposite of what truly works. They try too hard, prove their worth, and compete for attention, only to become invisible. Ever given your all? Been the perfect woman, always there, understanding, yet he still doesn't choose you? That ache of feeling not special, it cuts deep. That pain, it's one of the most profound wounds a woman carries. It whispers that you're not enough, not pretty enough, not young enough, not interesting enough. But what if I told you that this pain is actually a gateway to unlocking your true feminine power?
What Walter Riso uncovered challenges everything society has told us about seduction and relationships. It's so simple, it feels obvious once you get it, yet so revolutionary it can change your life in just days. Picture this, knowing exactly what to do so every man sees you as the most captivating woman he's ever met. Not through tricks or manipulation, but from a place deep within your sacred core. The woman who holds this secret doesn't compete. She doesn't shrink herself or try too hard. She simply lives fully in her feminine power, and men are drawn to this energy like a magnet, invisible but irresistible. Today, you're going to uncover that very secret. You'll understand why it works, and most importantly, how to bring it into your life. Because the time has come to stop settling for crumbs of attention. It's time to be chosen. Not as one option among many, but as the choice, the only one. But before I share this secret that could transform your relationships forever, I need you to stay with me on this journey. If you've made it this far, it means your heart is already tuned in to the truth I'm about to reveal. So click the bell, subscribe to the channel, because the next few minutes might just be the most important moments in your love life. And down below, in the comments, type one word: chosen. That word carries powerful intention. When you write the word chosen, you're making a powerful declaration to the universe, a signal that you are ready to receive this sacred knowledge. You're affirming, loud and clear, that you deserve to be the chosen woman, not just another option. So take a moment and write chosen now. Feel how it sparks something deep within you, awakening your heart to the transformation that's about to unfold. Each word you write is like planting a seed in the fertile soil of your new romantic reality.
To truly understand this secret, I need to take you on a journey, a deep dive into the male psyche. This is where Walter Riso's groundbreaking discoveries lie, discoveries that few have dared to explore. Over 4 decades of research,
Riso observed thousands of relationships, couples madly in love, men willing to give up everything for a woman, relationships that seemed nothing short of magical. And then Walter Riso began to notice a pattern, one that defied all the conventional wisdom about attraction and love. The women who were truly chosen weren't always the most beautiful, the youngest, or the most successful. No, there was something else at play, something invisible to the naked eye, yet as powerful and unstoppable as a force of nature. Riso named it female magnetic presence. But what does that really mean? And why do some women seem to possess it naturally from birth, while others spend their whole lives searching for it in vain? The answer lies deep within our primal layers of our nature, a truth that's been hidden in plain sight for centuries. When a man encounters a woman, something stirs deep inside him, an ancient part awakens, a primal signal that transcends logic and reason. It's like an old, instinctual part of his brain flickers to life, recognizing something sacred, something powerful in the feminine. But here's the problem. Modern society has distorted this natural dance. We've been taught to compete like men, to prove our worth through conquests and achievements, to be strong in ways that, ironically, disconnect us from our true feminine power. Have you ever noticed? The harder you try to impress a man, the more he seems to pull away. When you push to be perfect, his interest slowly fades. That's no accident. It's because you're working against your deepest nature. At his core, a man doesn't want to be impressed. He wants to be inspired. He's not looking for a woman who competes with him. He's drawn to a woman who complements him. And that difference, it's everything. Walter Riso uncovered something incredible, a feminine state that acts like a portal that connects you to your purest self and at the same time awakens something in him, something he didn't even realize he was searching for. This portal isn't about playing games or wearing a mask. It's about stepping into your authentic feminine power, quiet, confident, and magnetic. When you do, you don't chase him. Instead, you invite him in effortlessly. Riso calls this presence the female magnetic essence. It's a subtle energy that speaks to a man's primal instincts, a deep recognition that stirs something ancient inside him. It's not about looks or status, it's about being. And the beautiful part? This isn't something you have to fake or force. It's already inside you. It's waiting for you to claim it. This state can't be faked or copied. It's like trying to imitate the scent of a rose. You might get close, but the soul always senses the difference. Think about the women you admire, the ones who carry that unmistakable presence. They don't push or strain to be noticed. They simply are. And in that effortless being, there's a fullness, a completeness that draws people in naturally. But here's the question. How you reach that state? How do you uncover this essence? When did we start learning to be anything less than ourselves? The answer begins with a paradox. To be chosen, you must first choose yourself. Not out of selfishness or ego, but from a place of deep, sacred self-respect. You need to reconnect with the woman you were before the wounds, before the disappointments.
There's a version of you that knows her worth without needing to prove it. A version unafraid of vulnerability, because she understands that vulnerability is her greatest strength. A version unafraid of love, because she knows true love doesn't diminish, it multiplies. Walter Riso calls this the return to the sacred feminine. And when a woman makes this journey back to herself, something extraordinary happens. She becomes like a lighthouse, her light visible from miles away. But not every man can handle that light. Insecure men feel threatened. Immature men feel unworthy. But the right man, the one who is truly ready, he's drawn to that light like a moth to a flame. He doesn't run away. He steps closer, ready to be guided by her strength and authenticity. This is not about perfection. It's about presence, about standing fully in who you are without apology or defense. And this presence, that magnetic energy, comes from a deep alignment with your true self. It's the secret that Walter Riso uncovered after decades of research. So if you're ready to stop chasing and start being chosen, to awaken that sacred feminine power inside you, then stay with me, because what I'm about to share next will change everything. Only the man who is truly ready for love can approach this energy without fear. And that's the beauty of it. When you live from this sacred place within, you naturally draw the right men, those who are ready to choose, to commit, to love. You no longer attract players or the emotionally unavailable. Those who aren't ready simply won't come near. This doesn't mean you become passive or that you lose your power. Far from it. You become strong. Strong in a way that few understand. Strong without aggression. Powerful without harshness. Confident without arrogance. This strength is magnetic because it's authentic. It comes from a deep knowing of who you are and what you deserve. It's a quiet power that speaks louder than words. Imagine being so connected to yourself that you no longer chase love. Love chases you. And this is not about luck or chance. It's a skill, a state of being that anyone can cultivate. Over the next few moments, I'll guide you step by step to awaken this magnetic feminine presence within you. Are you ready to step into your true power and be chosen like never before? First, let's start by releasing everything that's been holding you back. The doubts, the fears, the old stories of not being enough. These are like chains that keep your light dimmed. You are not defined by your past or by how others have treated you. You are a radiant woman with a unique light waiting to shine.
Next, we'll explore simple daily practices that reconnect you to your sacred feminine energy. Practices that nurture your soul, boost your confidence, and align you with the kind of love you truly deserve. By the end of this journey, you will not only understand the secret, but embody it effortlessly. So, take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's begin. Now, the first step to reclaiming your sacred feminine power is to slow down. In our fast-paced world, rushing leaves little room for connection, especially with yourself. Take time each day to pause, breathe deeply, feel your body, your heart, your spirit. This simple act reconnects you to your essence, the place where your magnetic presence lives. Next, practice authentic self-expression. Speak your truth gently but firmly. Share your feelings, your desires, your boundaries without fear of judgment. Remember, confidence isn't loud, it's steady. It's the quiet knowing that you are worthy of love exactly as you are. Finally, cultivate joy, not dependent on anyone else, but born from within. Laugh, dance, create. Explore what makes your soul light up. This joy radiates and becomes irresistible. The woman who has mastered this secret moves through the world with a different rhythm. She speaks with a voice that carries calm certainty. She loves with an openness that feels like home. And men, they feel this difference deep in their bones, in every fiber of their being. But what is this secret? What's the one thing that can change everything? Here's the twist. It's not something you do for him. It's something you do for yourself. And somehow, by doing this, he will choose you above all others.
Walter Risso's decades of research point to a single word: surrender. But not surrender as weakness, never that. Surrender as the bravest act a woman can make. When you surrender to your true feminine nature, you stop fighting the current, and instead, you start flowing with it. And in that flow, you become utterly irresistible. But what does surrender really mean? It means letting go. Letting go of the need to control the outcome. It means releasing the urge to force love. It means trusting. Trusting that when you are truly yourself, the right love will find you. The woman who lets go, she stops doing all the things most women instinctively do when they like a man. She's no longer constantly available. She stops trying to fix his problems. She no longer sacrifices herself just to prove her worth. Instead, she does something revolutionary. She keeps her life full and vibrant, whether he's there or not. She becomes like a paradise island in the vast ocean of life. Whole, radiant, magnetic. And the man? He senses it instantly. His primal instinct recognizes she doesn't need him, but she still wants to be with him. And it's exactly that difference, that spark, that triggers something deep within his very soul. The instinct to pursue awakens, not to conquer, but to be worthy of her. Let me give you a concrete example. Maria was 45. For 10 years long, she tried everything to win her ex-husband back. She did everything for him. Always there, always proving she was the perfect woman. But he came and went, never truly choosing her. Then Maria discovered the secret, and she did something that seemed impossible. She stopped. She stopped calling, stopped being available, stopped trying to solve his problems. Instead, she began to truly live her own life. She picked up painting again, something she'd given up years ago, started traveling alone, formed new friendships, rediscovered her dreams, and something magical happened. The more whole she became without him, the more he desired her. A few months later, he showed up at her door, asking for another chance, not because she changed for him, but because she had become the woman he couldn't stop thinking about. But here's the deepest part of the secret. Letting go is not a tactic, not a game, not playing hard to get. It's a genuine internal shift. Being so deeply connected to yourself that you naturally radiate an energy no one can resist. Walter Risso describes 3 pillars of this sacred surrender. The first, emotional independence. Not meaning you don't need love or connection, but that your sense of completeness doesn't depend on any one man. The second, conscious presence. When you're with a man, you are fully here, present, engaged. And when you're not, you don't dwell on him. Your life remains rich, vibrant, and full, with or without him. The third pillar, unconditional self-love.
You love yourself not for what you do or what you achieve, but simply for who you are. This energy, this radiant self-love, is like an invisible perfume, a magnetic force that naturally draws true love to you. When these three pillars come together, something extraordinary ignites. You become like a flame, and men, like moths, drawn irresistibly to your light. But listen closely, this is the most important part. This isn't about manipulation. It's about returning to your true self. And when you do, you naturally attract men who are on your level. Men who are growing, evolving, becoming their best selves. The right man for you, he's the one who sees and honors your wholeness, who doesn't try to dim your light, but wants to shine with you, who doesn't fear your independence, but cherishes it as a rare, beautiful gift. And here's where the miracle begins. When you stop chasing love and start living it, suddenly love starts chasing you. When you stop trying to be someone else and choose yourself, when you start truly loving you, you become irresistible, not to just anyone, but to the people who truly matter. This isn't bound by age. It works if you've been single for years or just stepped out of a relationship. It works whether you want to win someone back or attract a brand new love.
Because the secret, it's not in your circumstances. It's in your inner transformation. The woman who masters this sacred surrender, she never begs for love again, never settles for crumbs, never accepts half-hearted relationships. She becomes selective, not from pride, but from deep wisdom, because she knows her love is sacred and it deserves to be treated that way. The man fortunate enough to win her heart knows he's found a treasure. He doesn't take her for granted because he feels her choice, the conscious choice she makes to be with him every single day. And that choice, that presence, creates a love that is real, deep, and lasting. This is the secret, the one that can transform your love life forever. It's not about becoming someone else. No masks, no games, no fear. It's about being who you truly are, fully, authentically, unapologetically.
Because once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. Once you step into your true feminine power, you'll no longer accept anything less than what you truly deserve. But let me be honest with you. This change, it's not easy. It goes against everything we'd been taught about love and relationships. You'll have to unlearn patterns you've carried for decades. Let go of the belief that you need to desperately try to be loved. Release the idea that your worth depends on his approval, and face the deepest fear, that if you stop chasing him, you'll be alone. And here comes the scariest part. You'll need to trust. Trust that when you are truly yourself, the right love will find you. Trust that you deserve a love you never have to beg for. Trust that there is someone out there who will choose you, not despite who you are,
But because of who you are. Exactly because of who you are. But the fruits of this transformation, they're simply incredible. Imagine waking up every day knowing you are complete, whether or not there's a man by your side. Imagine the freedom to love without fear, without clinging, without needing to control the outcome. Imagine entering a relationship not because you need someone to feel worthy, but because you choose to share your full, rich life with someone special. Imagine being loved for who you truly are, not for a version you pretend to be. That change, it ripples through every part of your life. At work, you stop seeking constant validation and start trusting yourself. With your girlfriends, you stop competing and begin celebrating each other. And with yourself, you build a loving, respectful relationship that becomes the foundation for all your other relationships. And here's something Walter Riso uncovered in his research. Women who take this journey back to themselves don't just attract better partners. They build stronger, more lasting, more fulfilling relationships. Why? Because when you're no longer dependent on a relationship to feel whole, you're free to love deeply, giving without emptying yourself. You're able to receive love without feeling indebted. You can argue without fearing abandonment. You can be vulnerable without the constant fear of getting hurt. A man in a relationship with such a woman feels this immediately. He doesn't feel the weight of being her only source of happiness. He doesn't tiptoe around, afraid of disappointing her. He can simply be himself. Be himself and love freely. But here's something that might sound contradictory. This path will make you far more selective. Men who once seemed interesting will now reveal their emotional immaturity. Relationships you once tolerated will suddenly feel unacceptable. And that's a good thing. Because when you raise your inner standards, you automatically attract people on your level. You stop attracting time wasters and start drawing in men who are truly ready for mature love. Some women fear this filtering. They ask, what if I end up alone? But here's the truth. It's better to be whole and alone than to be with someone and feel empty.
It's better to have one great love in your life than a series of mediocre ones. And the reality is, once you reach this state of inner completeness, you'll rarely be alone for long, because your magnetic energy naturally draws in those who are on the same path of growth. Just imagine how different your conversations with men will become. Instead of trying to impress or please, you'll simply be authentic. Instead of fearing what he thinks, you'll be curious to truly know him. Instead of worrying if he'll call, you'll be busy living your full, vibrant life. This transformation is felt immediately. A man senses when he's in the presence of a woman who knows her worth, and it awakens in him a deep desire to be worthy of her. But here's the most beautiful part. This transformation is contagious. When you begin to love yourself fully, you inspire other women to do the same.
When you stop competing and start collaborating, you elevate the entire feminine energy around you. Your girlfriends will notice the change. Your family will feel it. And every man in your life, they'll all respond to this new energy in ways that will truly surprise you. The ex who seemed to have lost interest, he might suddenly reappear, unexpected, undeniable. The coworker who's always just polite, he might start showing genuine interest. New men may step into your life in the most surprising ways. But here's what truly matters. You won't settle for just any attention anymore. You'll choose where to invest your emotional energy. You'll give your appreciation
only to the men who show they're ready for the kind of love you have to give. That is the greatest gift of this secret. You will never again settle for less than you deserve. And, my dear, that will change your life forever. Because a woman who knows herself radiates an energy no one can ignore. A woman who truly loves herself attracts real, lasting love. And a woman who chooses herself every single day will, in the right moment, be chosen by the right man. If this message has touched something deep inside you, if you feel a quiet revolution starting to stir in your heart, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your girlfriends, your sisters, your daughters. Because when one woman awakens to her true power, she lights the way for all the others to rise. And if you're ready to go deeper, to truly dive into this transformation, don't miss the next video appearing right now on your screen. Click the card and continue this journey with me toward more self-awareness, more feminine power, because you deserve to be chosen. You deserve to be loved. You deserve a love that celebrates who you are, not one that merely tolerates you.